What's a quote that sounded meaningless to you at first, but didn't realize how important it would mean to you later on? Righty, tighty, lefty, loosey. Be decisive. The road of life is paved with flat squirrels who couldn't make a decision. Every saint has a past, and every sinner has a future. Oscar Wilde. Just because it's not your fault, it doesn't mean it's not your problem. Everyone rises to their level of incompetence. It just sounded like a joke. To be fair, it was originally intended to be satire, until I realized what was really meant. If someone does a good job, they are likely to be promoted. If they do a good job, they might get promoted again. The problem is the promotions often end up being based on how good they are at the current job, rather than how good they would be at the new position. People get promoted until they get a job they suck at. They've risen to their level of incompetence. It's why so many middle managers suck. Don't attribute to malice what can be explained by ignorance. Life should not be a journey to the grave with the intention of arriving safely in a pretty and well-preserved body, but rather to skid in broadside in a cloud of smoke, thoroughly used up, totally worn out, and loudly proclaiming, "Wow. What a ride." Hunter S. Thompson. It happens sometimes. Friends come in and out of your life, like busboys in a restaurant. I never had any friends later on like the ones I had when I was 12. Jesus, does anyone? Last monologue from Stand By Me, 1986. The older I've gotten, the less close friends I have currently. New faces every few years, it feels like. Life and growing up is weird and sad. This too shall pass. Man, I can't count how many times I got through extremely tough times by just thinking about the next day, when it will be easier. If you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. But by all means, keep moving. MK Jr. When you're born in a burning house, you think the whole world is on fire. But it's not. Richard Kadri. Our life is frittered away by detail. Simplify, simplify. Henry David Thoreau. Hurt people hurt people. Nothing good happens after midnight. That asterisk made no sense when I was a teenager. All the good asterisk happened after midnight. Now that I'm a parent of a teen, no truer words. It's not about punching the hardest, but about how much you can get punched and keep going. Rocky. I remember this every time I change my toddler's clothes. It is possible to commit no mistakes and still lose. That is not a weakness, that is life. Jane Luckpakid. My mother would always tell me, you can't control the way that people take things. I never understood what she meant, until the wrong thing was said and everything blew up. When you're going through hell, keep going. Winston Churchill. One day at a time in regards to recovery from addiction. It sounds like nothing more than a platitude at first, but it really did help when I was struggling and overwhelmed to just set a goal to get through today and worry about tomorrow. At its core, it's just about cutting goals into smaller, manageable pieces. Friends are like snowflakes. When you pee on them, they disappear. So true. Don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened. Drive Zeus. True friendship is clear like water. False friendship is sweet like honey. This has served me well as I have become more successful in my career and position. Being polite costs nothing, but being an asshole can cost everything. You've got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, and know when to run. You never count your money. When you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. What the mind doesn't understand, it worships or fears. Alice Walker. Don't know what you've got until it's gone. He said, one day you'll leave this world behind. Soul of a life you will remember. There's always money in the banana stand. Those who most feel guilty don't need to, while those who most need to feel guilty never do. When fascism comes to America, it will be wrapped in a flag and holding a cross. All animals are born equal, some are just more equal than others. Animal Farm, Orwell, from memory, maybe slightly off. Youth is wasted on the young. Time is money. Only as an adult you realize how many things there are to do in life, and how little time you have, plus how horrible your time management is. For me, money here obviously means more than just being rich in wealth. It also means being *rich in life. Using the little time we got effectively to do things we actually want to / supposed to do. Assumption is the mother of all fuck-ups. If you have a bad roommate, you have a bad roommate. If you have a lot of bad roommates, you are bad roommate. You better listen to me, I know what I'm talking about, mom. Whatever you're afraid of has already happened before. Don't know who. In the end the party would announce that 2 and 2 made 5, and you would have to believe it. It was inevitable that they should make that claim sooner or later, the logic of their position demanded it. And what was terrifying was not that they would kill you for thinking otherwise, but that they might be right. For, after all, how do we know that 2 and 2 make 4? Or that the force of gravity works? Or that the past is unchangeable? If both the past and the external world exist only in the mind, and if the mind itself is controllable, then there might be a better quote, but I think this point in 1984, that the truth and reality can be obfuscated by manipulation of information, became especially relevant in Trump-era politics and algorithmic social media feeds. Life goes on long after the thrill of living is gone. John Cougar Mellencamp. In the 80s it was a line from a song I didn't even care for. In the 2020s, it is so true. Someone once told me, people are in your life for a reason, a season, or for life. It didn't really compute at the time, but I've since discovered it can be quite true. Leave the gun, take the cannoli. Just because you can, doesn't mean you should. From my high school choir teacher. Not my circus, not my monkeys. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. This too shall pass. Unless you're the lead dog, the view is the same. It's not about how you fall. It's how you get back up. Be good or be good at it, Lil Wayne. I've learned that this quote rings quite true in life. If you want to survive, be polite and well behaved, or just be so good at what you do that they can't afford to get rid of you, no matter how intolerable you are. Don't cast pearls before swine. Future belongs to those who believes in the beauty of their dreams. Be who you are, say what you feel, because those who mind don't matter. And those who matter don't mind. I saw it in a bathroom once in middle school, and didn't think much of it till I got to high school. I realized people hated me for who I am, and they always will, and I randomly remembered the quote and I kind of stopped caring about what other people think. I stopped trying to change people who hated me, and started surrounding myself with people who love me for who I am. And once the storm is over, you won't remember how you made it through, how you managed to survive. You won't even be sure whether the storm is really over. But one thing is certain. When you come out of the storm, you won't be the same person who walked in. Haruki Murakami. Marriage is a verb, not a noun. It should be a contest of generosity. It's something you do, not somewhere you go. More of a phrase than a quote, I suppose, but pull yourself up by your bootstraps. I always took it as most do. A kind of get your asterisk together phrase. Only recently did I actually realize, part through a reflection, and then confirmed through a browser search, that it is meant sarcastically, since it is of course physically impossible to do. Now every time I hear someone use it unironically, it annoys the asterisk out of me. And I urge you to please notice when you are happy and exclaim or murmur or think at some point, if this isn't nice, I don't know what is. Kurt Vonnegut. chasing happiness, or other dopamine, makes you discontented with now. Noticing the little moments when you are happy and sitting contentedly in them makes you more consistently happy. This has been huge in recovering from depression. After your 30-day free trial ends, your credit card will be automatically charged $49 a month. If you do things right, people won't be sure you've done anything at all. Discretion is the better part of valor. Never trust a fart. Never underestimate the power of stupid people in large groups. George Carlin. For those who haven't experienced it, no explanation is possible. For those who have, no explanation is necessary. You either die hero, or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Last 6 years of my life been as a villain. Your perception is your reality. The two most important days of your life are the day you were born, and the day you find out why. Don't let a bad day make you believe you have a bad life. To each his own. There will be good times, where you will feel better. If I hadn't seen such riches, I could live with being poor. Give man a fish, feed him for a day. Teach a man how to fish, feed him for a lifetime. When I was a kid, my dad would always say, don't worry about what others are doing, just focus on what you are doing, or something similar. It's only since I've been dealing with depression and anxiety that these words have struck a chord with me. To be part of the 1%, you have to be willing to do what 99% of people are not willing to do. I cannot imagine the day when I can forgive myself. **BECAUSE, that day will never come. **How do you go on? **IT is simple. **why you will never forgive yourself, accept it, you hurt others, many others, that cannot be undone. You will never find personal retribution, but your life does not have to end, that which is right, just and true can still prevail, but do not fight for yourself, fight for others. Others which may be saved through your effort. *THAT is the least you could do. My dad told me of a supposed ancient Chinese curse that goes, may you live in interesting times. He lived through the Cold War and the Civil Rights era, but didn't make it to what's going on now. We judge others by the results of their actions, but ourselves by our intentions. Reminds me to try and afford other people the doubt I'd want them to give me. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different outcome. I think about this quote on a regular basis, because I find myself going insane quite often. Just because things could have been different, doesn't mean they would have been better. Thinking about the past, and how I wish certain things would have worked out, but didn't. Now I'm actually okay, sometimes glad even, that a lot of things didn't turn out how I wanted them to. I don't worry so much anymore about unfortunate circumstances. All you need is love. Cold like Minnesota. It's okay to not be okay. It can't be helped. No matter how hard you try, so many variables are out of your control and things don't go your way. There is comfort in learning to accept the things out of your control and taking control of your response. Technoblade never dies. If you ever travel back in time, don't step on anything. Because even the slightest change can alter the future in ways you can't imagine. You know that pain and guilt can't be taken away with a wave of magic wand. They're the things that we carry with us. The things that makes us who we are. If we lose them, we lose ourselves. I don't want my pain taken away, I need my pain. Captain James Tiberius Kirk, Star Trek V, The Final Frontier. When the student is ready, a teacher will appear. Nothing can happen until you are ready for it to happen. Love, learning, or any personal growth. No change can happen without the student being ready for the change, and it is completely possible for folks to live an entire life not being ready. A true compromise leaves all sides unhappy. /pin you top. If you wait at the river long enough, you will see the bodies of your enemies float by. If you're going through hell, keep going. I gave up at some point and stagnated. Ended up in a hell I thought I would never escape and spiraled. Things only got better when I started moving forward. What would Jesus do? What mama don't know won't hurt her. Rightly slowly. Just lie they'll never know. Maybe you're right they wouldn't know, but I would. That was from Rigby in regular show. The color of money fades. Listen. You have no idea. My favorite quote from The Handmaid's Tale, better never means better for everyone. It always means worse, for some. I read that for the first time when I was 19 and did not get it. I really do now. One day at a time. It's not worth it. Everybody lies to your house. A man chooses, a slave obeys. If the outcome is the same, what's the difference? Later on, I discovered this simple distinction is a nuanced and powerful message that fundamentally changed how I perceive the world. The worst thing a man can do is draw a hungry crowd. Tell everyone his name in pride and confidence while leaving out his doubts, the Everett brothers, the weight of lies. When you run, make sure you run to something and not away from the Everett brothers, the weight of lies. Money can't buy happiness, so I've decided to do all my crying in a Corvette, Royce Da 5'9". You already know. Don't wish your time away. Heard this from my high school history teacher, where he was saying, if we wish for something like Friday to come sooner, we miss out on life in the days preceding it. Everyone you meet is fighting a war you know nothing about. Be kind, always. And in the end the love you take is equal to the love you make, the Beatles. One day you'll thank me, my mum. Suicide boys. If you are the smartest person in the room then you are in the wrong room.